these dark days. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the change that Putin's attack means for us, let me say it heralds a new age.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Kulanti wacan oo wanaagsan akhyaarta hawada nagala socota ee meel walbo joogtaan iyo si walba noo daawanaysaan waxaad kusoo dhawaataan muuqaal aan idinkaga diyaarnay dagaaladii ugu dambeeyay ee ka socday dhankaasi Ukraine, xaaladda Kiev iyo waliba Rushka waxa lagu soo rogay. Haddaba aan ku bilowno qiimaha lacagta Ruushka ee ruble ayaa isniinta maanta ah hoobatay marka loo eego dollarka iyo euro ee suuqa sarifka lacagaha ee Moscow. Xilli reer galbeedka ee Moscow ku ciqaabeen xayiraado dhaqaale oo ka dhashay duulaanka ay ku qaaday Ukraine. Qiimaha ruble-ka ayaa maanta gaaray 100.96 halkii dollarba halka ay ka ahayd 83.5 Arbacadii. Maalin ka hor duulaanka Ukraine sidoo kale halka euro ayaa waxaa lagu sarifay 113.52 ruble halka ay ka hor weerarka ay ka ahayd 93.5. qiimo dhacan ayaa ka dhashay kadib markii reer galbeedka ay ku dhawaaqeen inay qaar ka mid ah bangiyada Ruushka ka saari doonaan nidaamka SWIFT ee isku xira isla markaana ay lacagaha ugu diraan bangiyada caalamka. Ruble ayaa markii horeba si weyn hoos ugu dhacay marka loo eego lacagaha waaweyn ee caalamka kadib markii dadka Ruushka ay safaf dheer u galeen ATM-yada si ay lacagahooda ugala baxaan isla markaana ugu beddeshaan lacago shisheeye ka hor inta aanu ku dhicin qiimo dhac kale. Bangiga dhexe ee Ruushka ayaa isniintii maanta ah sheegay inuu qaaday tallaabooyin degdeg ah oo lagu xoojinayo dhaqaalaha oo ay ka mid yihiin in heerka dulsaarka sare loo qaaday 20% halkii markii hore uu ka ahaa 9.5% si loo taageero xasilloonida maaliyadda iyo qiimaha loogana hortago qiimo dhac ku yimaada kaydka lacageed ee shacabka. Bangiga ayaa sidoo kale ku dhawaaqay in shirkadaha Ruushka ee dakhliga uu ka soo galo wax dhoofinta ay khasab tahay inay 80% iibiyaan dakhliga ku soo galay lacagaha qalaad. Haddaba daawadayaal waxaad kusoo dhawaataan muuqaal laga soo duubay Ukraine oo taageero ka helaysa wadamada reer galbeed iyo waliba sida qaabka lacagaha iyo xayiraadaha faraha badan ee la saaray dalkaasi Ruushka.
Dark days. Ladies and gentlemen, based on the change that Putin's attack means for us, let me say it heralds a new age, and what needs to be done to keep the peace will be done, and Germany will do its bit. Let me say that clearly. But it's not enough just to say it, because for that, the German armed forces need new, strong capabilities. And this is my fourth issue that I wish to speak about now. This is the fourth thing I wish to speak to you about today. If you read the decrees that distort history that Putin has written, if you look at his statement that he made in TV describing his attack, and that, although I had just spoken to Putin for hours, anyone who has read what Putin says can have no doubt that Putin wants to create a Russian empire. He wants to recreate the order within Europe, and he has no fear of using military might to achieve it. And we're seeing this in Ukraine today. So we have to ask ourselves, what capabilities does Putin's Russia have, and what capabilities do we need in order to counter this threat today and in the future? One thing is for sure. We need to invest considerably more in the security of our country in order to defend our liberty and our democracy in this way as well. This is a major challenge for the entire country. It means to have a modern, progressive German armed forces, Bundeswehr, that can protect us. In the Munich Security Conference a week ago, I said we need aircraft, we need ships, and we need soldiers who are well equipped, ideally equipped for their missions. That's what it's about. And this can be done for a country as big as we are, as important as we are in Europe. But let's not kid ourselves. Better equipment, more personnel, all of this costs a lot of money. And for that, we will set up a special fund for the German armed forces, and I'm grateful to German Finance Minister Lindner for his support in this. The 2022 German budget will have 100 billion euros earmarked for this as a one-off, and this money will be used for investment in the German armed forces. From now on, year for year, more than 2% of our GDP will be invested in defense. And, ladies and gentlemen, and I am addressing all parliamentary groups of the German Bundestag, let us approve this in our basic law. Something I would like to add at this point is we are not just aspiring to this goal because we have committed to this in our allies to increase our defense spending up to 2% of our GDP. We are doing it for ourselves. We are doing it for our own security. Well aware of the fact that it will not be enough just to have the German armed forces to stop the challenges facing us. This is why we also need to invest in development. And this is why we also need to strengthen our resilience technically and socially in order to be more resilient against cyber attacks on our communication systems. And we will need to keep up technologically as well, which is why it's so important for me that the fighter planes and tanks that are being developed need to be developed with our European partners, particularly with France. We need to build them here in Europe. These projects are now top priority for us. Until the new aircraft get off the ground, we will continue to develop the new Eurofighter together. It's also good that the Euro drone contracts were signed this week. The procurement of the armed drones from Israel is something we are working on as well. And for nuclear participation, we will need a modern replacement for the obsolete Tornado jets. The Eurofighter is going to have electronic warfare capacity, and after that, we will consider further options as carriers. And we will need to do more in the future in order to ensure a reliable energy supply for our country in the future. One important measure for this is something the German government has already done, and we will have to reposition to get rid of our dependency on individual energy exporters. The events of recent days and weeks have shown us that a responsible energy policy looking to the future isn't just something that's important for our economy and for our environment, it is also decisive for our security. And this is why the faster we can expand renewable energies, the better it is. And we have set the right course as an industrial country. Until 2045, we want to become